Well, America, one of the best things you could say right now is the 40 days and 40 nights of congressional lockout is over. People are supposed to go back to their jobs, getting their back pay, and, well, everything's supposed to be nice and dandy because the Democrats won absolutely, well, nothing that they wanted from their big blackmail. And that blackmail was $1.2 trillion. They wanted a lot of things, but the biggest thing they said wanted was the extension of the health care benefits, the subsidiaries of saying, well, we're going to subsidize people. Well, here's something to think about. Here in America, our population is around 330 million people, and the subsidies were going to roughly 25 million. Now, if you do the math, 25 million, 330, well, that's a pretty small number of people, but they were getting subsidized by the government. At least that was the original plan when Obamacare came around. And if you remember in 2013, when Obamacare did in fact come around, everybody, and that means everybody, had to prove that they had health insurance. And if you didn't have it, you had to go out and buy it. Now, many people had their own health insurance. I'm sure that many of you did anyway in the beginning. Like my wife and I, we had ours. But we had to prove to the government, here's what we had. All right, fine. We proved it, but those people who are getting the subsidies to, well, make their insurance cheaper, they found out it didn't come as good as you thought it might be. Because when they signed up on the Obamacare website, they found out the deductibles were frankly pretty high. And ultimately, they went higher. So what happened? Well, and over that time period, the major healthcare companies, the people who do the health insurance, they have one goal. And that one goal is simple: not to pay for any health care. That's pretty much what simple is. United Healthcare from roughly 2010 to 2025, 15 years, the value of one share of stock, one share, went from $26 to $327. 15 years, it went up from $26 to $326. That's 1,177% increase in the value of that company. Now, why? Well, because the government, your government, my government, every year was sending these healthcare companies a check. And the check was for billions of dollars. Not millions, folks, billions of dollars to subsidize those 25 million people. Well, okay, then what's COVID do? Well, let me tell you what was going on before COVID. Originally, the subsidizing of people was for under a certain limit of their income. Like you say, well, $150,000 a year. And if you're below that, we'll subsidize your policy. But if you earn above that, no, you're wealthy and you don't get the subsidy. Well, when COVID hit, guess what the government did? They said to those people earning over $150,000, hey, you can be covered too. Get yourself an Obama plan and you'll be covered as well. We'll pay the subsidies even though you are rich. If you're earning $500,000 a year, get the Obama plan, we'll subsidize it. That's what happened during COVID. So everybody was getting their getting their insurance. Some said, well, I'm going to save a lot of money here. Well, here's what happened with that. During that time period, the health insurance company said, okay, we're getting too many people on this healthcare thing. Let's raise the deductibles. And every year they did. And now you're going to see deductibles as much as $10,000 a year. You heard me right, 10 grand a year before the health insurance even kicks in. Well, supposedly now the Congress is going to vote in December, the Senate at least is going to vote in December, to whether or not to keep the appropriations, the subsidy that was supposed to end in December of 2025. Because if it does end, people are going to see their insurance rates go up even more. Those 25 million people, well, they're going to see it go up even more. So, how do we get our way around this? The Obamacare was unaffordable from the beginning. Why they called it the Affordable Care Act was to con you. It was never affordable. It took the government to subsidize it just to keep the votes, because the Democrats realized they messed this up. You got 25 million people who are going to vote them out of office in a heartbeat, and they don't want that to happen. So they're going to say, okay, fine, what do we do? President Trump says, here's what we're going to do. All that billions and billions of dollars we send to the insurance companies every year, let's give it to those people on Obamacare. Let's give them the money and let them say, okay, here's what insurance company I can work with. Because if the insurance companies no longer get money, they may, and I say may, start having competition. Because they don't need to have competition now. They're all making money. But if the persons who have the insurance policies get more money and say, I got to decide who I'm going to spend it with, there may be competition. Competition may lower the prices. All this is taking on a wing and a prayer, hoping that's how it'll work out. But really, they need to start over. Obamacare was an absolute, utter disaster. But the health companies, the insurance money, wanted it. Now, let me explain to you why that's such a big deal. You realize how much money the healthcare companies through the lobbyists pay congressmen and senators? Number one, Bernie Sanders. Okay, Bernie Sanders, socialist, communist, whatever. Bernie Sanders since 1990. All right, so you're figuring that's about 35 years. He's taken from the healthcare companies $23 million. $23 million. You don't think they own him? They do. Republican or Democrat rather, Raphael Warnock, Georgia, he's taken $14.7 million. Elizabeth Warren, $10.5 million. All of these congressmen and senators, sorry folks, on either side of the aisle, they've been bought. You have to understand something. These people in Congress, the people you voted into office, are being bought and told what to do, what to sign, and what to agree to, and what goes on. They don't vote themselves. They don't vote for you. They vote on who pays them. This is where, money corrupts. And when money starts corrupting you, you lose your value system. You'll do what you're told. Because if you don't, the money stops. And if the money stops, you don't have anything to get yourself reelected with because you don't have any money in your pouch. Because the truth of the matter is, sort of like Harry Truman said, you come into Congress and you end up being a multimillionaire. Hell, Harry Truman said, you're a crook. You end up a multimillionaire, you are on the take. And that's essentially what's happened. So, will people start getting money instead of that was going to the health insurance companies directly to them? Maybe. Laws have been introduced. Will they pass? I don't know. But in the end, we got to figure out something different, totally different, because the health insurance companies are making a boatload of money and don't care and don't want to pay. That's just the rules. The biggest thing is the baby boomer generation. I'm in that generation. We're all getting older. The older we get, the sicker we get. And the younger generations behind us, there aren't as many of you as there are baby boomers. So fewer people to charge them more. That's how it happens. Now you understand what's going on in politics. Now you understand how it works. And unfortunately, you may be paying a lot more money unless you tell your congressmen and senators, this has got to stop. Understand what's going on, and hopefully we can all get this figured out together.